Migrants are coming to take over your hotels, steal your jobs and hurt your kids. Or at least that's what the Tories will lead you to believe. I'm going to share my thoughts on the recent developments with regards to the migrant crisis. And please let me know your thoughts as we go along. So the Tories have come out with a new slogan of "Stop the Boats." And this seems to be their election-winning pledge. Good timing when you consider how low they are in the polls at the moment. Almost a bit convenient, would you think? I do. I think this is a fabricated crisis. And not fabricated in the sense that it's fake or false. These people really are coming here in these numbers. I say fabricated because I think there may be more to this story. So firstly, let's look at some interesting numbers and statistics. This migrant crisis only became a crisis in around 2019, if not a bit later. Yes, we had the pandemic, but before the pandemic, we weren't seeing numbers as high as this. You can see here that it absolutely spiked post-2019. What happened in 2019? Well, 2019 and beyond was the year that Boris Johnson took his premiership. It was also around the time when the Brexit vote happened. And again, one of the promises was to retake our borders. So why post-Brexit are we looking at numbers worse than before? Some might tell you it's the French sending them all over. It's not. There's been an increase because we're allowing the increase. All these hotels you're seeing across the country being filled with migrants, why wasn't that happening before? Were they not put in migrant processing centres? But hotels are right in our faces and in our communities. And the Tories haven't shied away from letting that be known to us. They have, however, shied away from the fact that it's Serco managing those hotels. The same Serco that you'll remember from the pandemic that made a lot of money. Now that we know the data, let's take a look at the reasoning. Now, as I mentioned before, they're extremely low on the polls. And they need something to boost that. Just like they needed leverage to push along their Brexit narratives. The timing is absolutely perfect and always has been. I said this in my previous video. If you want to stop migrants coming into your country, stop them. You might say easier said than done, but really think about it. You're not bound by the chains of the EU anymore. You seemingly don't care about the European Commission for Human Rights, yet the numbers are surging. The simple answer is it pisses you off. It pisses you off enough to vote for these guys. And I can make you a guarantee that this problem won't be solved before the election. They will push this narrative for a whole year and do nothing. There will be a few little tastes of what might be if you vote for these people again for another term. The odd group of migrants sent back and there'll be a big deal made out of it. But the numbers will not go down. And they will promise you that if you vote for us, the numbers will go down. And I can guarantee that. They will use this crisis to boost their own votes. And unfortunately, it will work. And for the next 4 or 5 years after that, they still will do nothing. And again, promise to solve the problem 5 years later. It really is as simple as that. And if you think about it, it's hard to argue that point, I know. But the reality of it is they're treating you, the people, us, like idiots. They keep using these 3-word slogans like "Get Brexit done" and "Hands, face, space" and now "Stop the boats." Why? Because it's easy to digest. A simple little slogan that you'd say to a kid to help wash their hands or to eat their dinner. They simplify something down that is quite complex into 3 words. So you can easily digest it and you can easily believe it. My 3-word slogan for this would be "Stop believing bullshit." Because it seems people have very short memories. The Tories have been in power 13 years and they've made promise after promise after promise. And they break them more often than they keep them. And the media are complicit in all this. They like the simple life. I've shown you the data and you can't argue with the facts. Yet the media don't want to look into that. They're too busy lapping up the easy wins from Oakeshott and Hancock's TIFF and now Gary Lineker. And it was Meghan Markle before. But again, as with these 3-word slogans, it's easy, it's simple, and people need simple at the moment. All I'm asking you to do is to try to break free from that simplicity mold and look at the facts. Don't believe everything you hear or read, and the same is true for this video. If you see something that's too good to be true, it probably is. And most of this can be disproved or caught out with a simple Google search. One of the great things about the UK is we're filled with free thinkers. People who have their own opinions. But I think sometimes that gets lost in simplicity. People are stressed, people are busy, people are concerned, and sometimes a 3-word slogan is enough. My ask, don't let that be enough. Question everything. And whether you agree with them or not, during the pandemic, we had a lot of free thinkers that came up with their own ideas of what was going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. I implore you, do that. But make sure you're backed up with the facts as well. In this case, it is especially true. Boil it down. Why since 2019 has there been an increase? Why hasn't it been decreased by the Tories and their policies? And why now are they looking at suddenly stopping the boats? Again, short memory, we had Priti Patel, who was a big believer in stopping the boats. But there's an election coming up. And it's almost campaign time. And they're even using this to attack Labour, who are not in power and have no control over policy. They're saying all along, these last 13 years, Labour have stopped everything and leftist lawyers have destroyed their policies. They haven't. They haven't done anything. The Tories have a majority. They have the majority. Anything they vote for, as long as it's within reason within their own party, will go through. The Tories don't have the backbone to vote against their own party in these kind of situations. We've seen polls come out of towns and cities and constituencies wanting a certain vote, and their member of parliament voting the exact opposite. Because it's party politics. That's what it's all about. But yeah, this video has gone on way too long already. I appreciate it. If you've gotten this far, thank you. I hope you enjoy it and I hope this was insightful to you. Please let me know your thoughts in the replies. And if you have your own view on this, please share it. My final point will be reiterating that you need to challenge everything this government is doing. And all future governments. They're not smarter than you are, as they might lead you to believe. So just don't fall for it. Have a good one.